I lied to you that I was going to make a tuna casserole out of Katie. I am going to make it at some point. But I remembered I had these chef's plate things to make up, and they have raw meat. So, gotta do that before it spoils. And again, I don't drain my pasta, so I'm going to make it all in one pot. I read the recipe, but I'm going to read it again. So, okay. I'm also not going to do it exactly how it says. It's telling me that it wants me to bake the pasta. And I'm like, that seems like a step too much for my body right now. So, let's see. Okay, so it's not telling me anything about garlic. I have onions chopped. Okay. That might take a little bit. So I got my tea going. I guess I could chop the spinach while I wait. I was so proud of myself about using up what I had that I forgot to cancel my chef's plate. And so, lo and behold, I'm using up what's in my pantry. And here comes a thing to restock my pantry. And it's like, my own fault. I forgot about it. Mm. Let's put this bag over so where it's not going to get in the way. spinach. I'm not too enamored with the meal kits, but they're nice for just reducing that one step or a few steps for planning and shopping and whatever. It's cheaper than takeout, but it's not cheaper than getting stuff on your own at the grocery store. Especially the way I do it, where I have very little food waste because I shop based off of what I want to cook. And I find that's the biggest difference is if I just shopped and bought ingredients, it's possible that I would inflate what I would actually be able to prepare. And that's just me. If you have a different way and it works for you, absolutely fine. It just won't work for me. I need to see big picture and then drill down, I guess. It's too hot. Let's let that go for a little bit longer. Because I'm cooking the beef with the onions. I'm not letting them simmer down so much. Okay. All right. let that cook a little bit. Yeah, I have 3 chef's plate. Today, right now, I'm making the cheesy beef pasta bake or whatever. And I'm going to be changing it up a little bit. I know that it has spinach in it, but I think maybe I'll cook up some. And when I say cook up, I just mean get from frozen. I have frozen broccoli. So I might put some of that in a bowl and put the pasta on top. So that way it's a little bit more, it has a little bit more to it. It's going to be my breakfast today. But what's the other ones? There's a Sloppy Joe recipe, and then there's a braised chicken recipe. They're not things that I usually would cook. I wouldn't decide on these things. They're not particularly interesting to me. Usually, I like Chef's Plate for 2 reasons. One is when I know I don't have it in me to meal plan and go grocery shopping. That takes a mental load away from me. And then the other one is to try new recipes or new flavors from different cultures instead of buying big amounts of spices and whatever and then making something and deciding I don't like the flavor profile. So those are the 2 reasons. None of what I got fits those 2. It was just me forgetting. So we'll see. We'll see how this is. Oh, that's hot. Okay. I don't know. I've had it before where the cheese that they've provided me has gone moldy. So I don't know if that's the situation. So I don't know where I'm going to do this. I might shred some more cheese. And it's going to melt in the pot anyway, so maybe it doesn't matter so much how well it's shredded. Maybe I'll just chop it up fine. I have some cheese in the fridge. And also, having a piece of cheese right now sounds like a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. Okay. One for me. Did I want? When it just starts. A little bit more. Fridge. Put this in effect. Okay, to the pan with beef, add Italian herb spice blend and cream spice blend. Okay. Oh. Okay. It wants this whole flavor packet. And this whole thing. Then it says add this. Does this have a this? Okay. This isn't gonna be very saucy, even with the extra water that I add. For the pasta. Sorry, I put my bum to you. Okay, I picked the big one. And the nice thing about just putting water in the glass bit is that it's still clean. You just rinsed it basically. Pasta in there at this point. All right. We'll let the pasta cook. I think it's a longer one. I could go get the package again. We'll check on it. It's early in the morning. It's probably about 5 a.m. my time. Maybe not quite. Maybe still 4 something. 4:48. I'm tired. I usually wake up super early though. I don't mind. I like it. My brain kind of works better at this time. I can think about cooking and I can think about all these different things. And for instance, during the big long cook that, or not cook, but the body doubling thing that I did that was several hours. That started probably at 5 or 6 in the morning. And by 1 or 2, I see my energy drastically dip because I'm so gung ho when I wake up that I notice that's when I start waning. And that is when my boyfriend and everybody else actually that I know of, that's when their brain starts ramping up. And so it's just kind of like, I can't keep up. That's okay though. The thing that is unfortunate right now that I'm finding is I'm finding that there's not a lot of events that I can go to around the time that is reasonable to me. I mean, other than the weekend, sometimes there's brunch type things on the weekend or events earlier in the day for matinees and stuff like that. But if I go to brunch, for instance, that's my dinner. Because brunch is usually around like 11, maybe 1 o'clock. It's kind of like a weird breakfast lunch thing, so it really depends. But yeah, that's my dinner time. So I find that there's not a lot of things that I can do early morning. There's not a lot of events. And a lot of the things that I'm interested in actually start at like 6, 7, 8 p.m. And it's like, I know I won't make it. If I have a nap, I can go to bed later. That's no problem. But if it starts at that time, when it ends, I'll probably be dead on my feet. But I guess that's the trade-off. That's the yeah. Does anybody there work nights or anything? Like, what do you find that works for you? I used to work nights, but I was younger and I found that there were lots of things for night owls. Like, I'd probably start work at, let me see if I remember, 11. And then I'd work overnight and I'd be off work at like 7:30 in the morning. So going to clubs and everything was great because I'd wake up at 8 o'clock, get ready to go to the club, and go to the club. And it didn't matter if I was drinking or not, and just party it up. And then the club would close, and, I would go home and chill out and whatever. And then when breakfast places opened, I would go for breakfast, and I'd have breakfast for dinner. And yeah, it wouldn't matter if things started at 8 or whatever. I would be able to wake up a little bit earlier and go to those things. Not a big deal. But I find waking up early is a different ball game. kind of restricting you from a lot of things. And there are events at libraries and stuff like that, but I find that they're during work hours, a lot of those. So yeah, I'm finding that a little bit awkward. Yeah, I'll figure it out. I have no doubt. Let's check on pasta and see what it says here. Maybe I'll get a bowl. Only I have to do dishes. My bowls. I think I only have this one. So I think that's what I'll have to use. I don't really feel like doing dishes on stream. Although, sure you don't mind. Wrong thing. Put back on there. I got Thai vegetables instead of broccoli. I have a few different types of frozen veggies in here. I love them. It's tends to be cheaper, and it saves my arms like even better. Just because I don't have to chop. Like that bag of broccoli, like right there, that's probably a small head of broccoli anyway. So I don't know. I don't know what to say. I mean, that bag probably has five big broccolis. And then yeah, if I was to buy that, well, it would probably go bad if I bought that many. Plus, I don't know what the price of raw broccoli is right now. So it just works out for me. Yeah, I'm very tired today. Must have not had good sleep. I feel like my sleep was fine though, as far as what I experienced, but a little sluggish this morning. I think I might have accidentally done away with one of my videos. It's okay, it was a shorter one, and I think we were just hanging out, so I don't think it was one that I had an outline for or had done research for or anything like that. But it is the one that I broke my teddy bear. If I bring it over, I can show you. Okay, so I was working on this. It broke. Although it didn't break in a way where I'm gonna not continue or can't continue, it broke in a way where it's like, this very much can still be worked on. But yeah, it's funny. I'll have another video of continuing to work on that probably. But now I know why some people are using super glue and whatever for the layers, so it doesn't do that, and you can kind of be a little bit harsher with it. Although I will say I make a lot of mistakes when it comes to the types of blocks that I use. Sometimes I think something's a 2 block and it's a 1 block, or it's a 3 block instead of a 2 block, or whatever the case is. And so I find I have to backpedal. Yeah, I can't super glue if that's the situation. So I don't know what I'll do there. But I don't really feel comfortable super gluing anyway. I just know that I'll super glue myself. I do not know what will happen. But in any case, I think that I'm probably a few hours out from finishing it. Maybe. That'll be good. And then I can move on to something else. You don't know, but the table that we're on right now is super cluttered, and that's a lot of the clutter is from this guy. And so I'm excited to move on to something else and not have little blocks in different places. I joked with my boyfriend that I need a week off, or a year off even. But if we're being completely honest, I would take that year off. It would be awesome. And also I made a joke about somebody sponsoring the year off. It wouldn't be much. It would only be 100 grand. And then I'd be able to do some stuff. If we're honest, I'll get to the end of that year and I'll feel like I have way too much stuff to do before going back to work. If there was a situation where I could take a year hiatus from work and go back to my job, I'd do it. Maybe not right now. I'd have to save for it, but I would take that year hiatus. Maybe in 5 years or something. That sounds like a good plan. Yeah, not now. Not with the world the way it is. All right, let's see. How you doing? Oh, you're looking pretty good. What does it say? Okay, so at this point, they have things going in the oven. So they say to add the cheese and the spinach. And this is where we'll see if they sent me moldy cheese. Looks okay. Put a little bit more water in. Oh, what I'll do is broccoli's here. Get that going. Ah, good tea. I need tea to activate. What time is it? It's 5:14. Okay. I start work in 45 minutes. I'm not excited to start work. I'm not excited. I do tend to like my job. But don't get me wrong, there's a lot of bullshit in every job that you have to deal with. And each job just presents it a little bit differently. Just need to know how to play the game. And do I know how to play that game? Probably not. But I know enough to know that I shouldn't drink around work people. Not because I have a problem with drinking, and I think I might have mentioned this before, but because I have a very small filter. And if I even have one beer, that goes away. And then I will just say what I think. And I will go up to the boss or whoever and just natter and tell them what I think and tell them, you know, my opinion of different things that they've done or whatever. And I won't care about tone, I won't care about propriety or any of that. I will just do. And it's not conducive to keeping a job. Like it can be, I guess. Like there's been situations for sure where I have kept my job from that. In fact, every situation I've kept my job. I haven't been fired for anything like that. But I just know that that's what I'll do. And yeah, instead of wondering, well, did I say this? Did I say this like this? You know, what were they doing? What was their body language? How was it received? I just don't drink. And then I don't have to worry about it. Let's see. Oh, I'm happy I added more water. Let's try this. So that's breakfast. I don't know if you can see. That's what I'll have. Let's see if the pasta's done. Oh yeah. All right. So that's all from me. I just wanted to yak a bit while I cooked. See ya.